I'm Richard Clarke. I record these talks every day as a way to deepen my inquiry. Listen each day and deepen your own practice. Welcome. I'm reviewing and commenting on the book Talks with Sri Ramana Maharshi. Today is from Talk 609, Part 2. Questioner. Is it not often said that one is nearer pure consciousness in deep slumber than in the waking state? Maharshi, the question may as well be, am I nearer to myself in my sleep than in my waking state? For the self is pure consciousness. No one can ever be away from the self. The question is possible only if there is duality. But there is no duality in the state of pure consciousness. The same person sleeps, dreams, and wakes up. The waking state is considered to be full of beautiful and interesting things. The absence of such experiences makes one say that the sleep state is dull. Before we proceed further, let us make this point clear. Do you not admit that you exist in your sleep? When the questioner asks if deep sleep brings one closer to pure consciousness than the waking state, Sri Ramana Maharshi responds by challenging the very basis of the question. Instead of accepting the idea that one moves closer or farther from pure consciousness, he redirects the focus to the fundamental truth. There is no separation from the self. The question itself assumes a duality, as if the self is something outside oneself that can be approached. But Ramana makes it clear the self is pure consciousness, and no one can ever be apart from it. He points out that the same individual experiences all three states, waking, dreaming, and deep sleep. The waking state is often seen as more desirable because of its activity and engagement with the world. In contrast, deep sleep is considered dull because those sensory experiences are absent. Yet, there is something crucial about sleep that is often overlooked. He asks the questioner to consider, do you not admit that you exist in your sleep? This is a powerful shift in perspective. Even in deep sleep, when there is no awareness of the body, no thoughts, and no experiences, existence remains. Something continues. That something is the self, pure consciousness itself. This means that consciousness does not come and go, it is always present. The only difference is that in the waking state, the mind is active and creates the illusion of separation, while in deep sleep, the mind is absent and only pure being remains. Ramana Maharshi's teachings here is simple but profound. The goal is not to treat deep sleep as a special state that brings one closer to the self, but to recognize that pure consciousness is always present, whether awake, dreaming, or asleep. The waking mind, with its constant activity, obscures this truth, making it seem as if consciousness is something to be reached. But Ramana points out that it is already the case. Consciousness is always. The key is to recognize that in the waking state, to remain aware of the self just as it is naturally in deep sleep, where there is no interference from thoughts or ego. So know yourself and be always free and at peace. In 40 Verses on Reality, Ramana Maharshi explains the nature of the self, the ultimate reality, and self-inquiry. My new book, with my comments and inquiry questions, opens these teachings up and brings them into your practice and experience. Available now from Amazon. Link in the video description. These videos bring Ramana's teachings into your direct experience. Click subscribe to see more. Click thumbs up to like, and send questions and start a dialogue with a comment.